Okay, all right, guys, I'm putting this screenshot here together so that I can show people that the Ten Commandments is in heaven, because a lot of time when they tell Christians that the Ten Commandments is in heaven, and it was not nailed to the cross as they believe, and we need to observe them and live by them. Majority of the church, they get offended, and I can understand why, because the pastors are not teaching them these things. That is the biggest problem. They don't know. So I'm doing this video to help people wake up, because I know a lot of people, they probably don't know the truth, and I know a lot of them, once they get to see the truth, they will accept it. Now, when you look at Revelation chapter 11, on this side of the screen here, right? When you go to Revelation chapter 11, you can read the whole Revelation chapter 11. But just to make it quick, I just want to show you. Verse 18 and 19, look at the part that I highlight in yellow. Verse 18 says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." So you see in here, the nation is angry because it's time that they are being judged. All right? And then verse 19 says, "And the temple of God was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings, and an earthquake and great hail." Now, a lot of people probably will just bypass that, don't fully understand what is happening here. Now, a proper study of Revelation chapter 11 and the rest part of Revelation, and especially up here, it says something here about the seventh angel. I'm looking for it so that I can show you. Which part was it? Yeah, here, verse 15. Let me highlight it in a different color, because I just want to show you something. Let me highlight it in red. It says here, "And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, The kingdom of this world are become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever." Now, some other part in Revelation, right, when you study the characteristic of the seventh angel, each of the angel comes with a plague. The seventh angel is the last angel, and after after the last angel sound that trumpet, probation has closed for the whole world, and the end, and then Christ comes. So we are seeing here the seven angels is going to close everything, and after that there's nothing more. It's just the second coming of Christ, and that's it. So here we are seeing now, after the seven angels sounded, it's going to be judgment, and then God's temple in verse 19 here will be open in heaven. And then John saw the ark of his testament. Now, majority of the time people will say the Sabbath has nothing to do with that. The commandments has nothing to do with that. But let us go here to Deuteronomy chapter 10 to help you understand what was inside the ark of his testament. People not paying attention here to the ark of the testament. The fact that John saw, John was specific. He made it plain that the temple of God was open in heaven, and they were seen in his temple the ark of his testament. And verse 18 gives you a hint that it was judgment. So what was the ark of the testament doing in the temple of God? So when you go to Deuteronomy chapter 10, you will see what was inside the ark of the testament. You can read the whole Deuteronomy just to make it quick and short. Chapter 10, verse 1 to 5. All right? Let me highlight it in yellow. All right. Chapter 10, verse 1 to 5. It says here, verse 1. "At that time the Lord said unto me, Hew thee 2 tables of stones, like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first table which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tables in mine hand. And he wrote on the tables according to the first writing." This is the part I want you to pay attention to. Let me highlight it in a different color. And he wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 Commandments, which the Lord spake unto you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. And the Lord gave them unto me. Not the 9 commandments, the 10 commandments. Verse 5 says, and I turned myself and came down from the mount and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there they be, as the Lord commanded me. So where are the 10 commandments? Not the 9 commandments, the 10 commandments. That includes the Sabbath. Where are they? Moses had put them in the ark, which God told him to make. And he says, and there they be, as the Lord commanded me. Now, when you look at that in context in Revelation chapter 11, verse 19, it says, and the temple of God was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. So Revelation chapter 11, verse 19 ties with Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 5. Moses put the 10 commandments inside the ark. And in Revelation chapter 11, John saw the same ark that contained the 10 commandments. And then in Revelation chapter 11, verse 18, God was passing judgment on the dead. So what was the ark doing in God's temple during the time that he was judging? Now, some people will say, oh, that does not indicate that's what it is. They will say that. Trust me, I'm telling you, they will say that because they do not want to see the truth that the standard of judgment, God is going to use the 10 commandments to judge the living and the dead. And that includes the 7-day Sabbath, and that is what they do not want to keep, the Sabbath commandment. So I am putting this short clip together to show them that the fourth commandment, to remember the 7-day Sabbath, to keep it holy, will be part of God's judgment. So we will be judged for not keeping his 7-day Sabbath. Now it's funny, the world believes in thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie. Well, let me not say the world. The Christian people and them, they believe in thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not fornicate, thou shalt not commit adultery. Yeah, let me be more specific. Thou shalt not trouble my wife, thou shalt not look at my husband. Because they don't want nobody trouble their wife, they don't want nobody trouble their husband, they don't want nobody thief their money, they don't want no one, lie to them and become covetous of what they have. But where is the 7th-day Sabbath? Because here you're seeing here in Deuteronomy chapter 10, it's 10 commandments God gave, not 9. So what happened to the 7th-day Sabbath? Now I'm going to do a video soon to show you that how to pull Colossians chapter 2, verses 16 and 17 out of context to destroy the 7-day Sabbath. That is nothing but hypocrisy. The only law that the entire Christian world want to destroy is the 7-day Sabbath. They will never destroy thou shalt not commit adultery. They will never destroy thou shalt not fornicate. They will never destroy thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie. Only the 7-day Sabbath they have a problem with. And that problem is hypocritical. It is hypocrisy. Now, thank you for watching this video. I hope this short clip open your mind, open your eyes to the truth. All right? And I will continue to do more to help people wake up and understand what is taking place. Keep the commandment of God, people. Keep his Sabbath. The Sabbath is a sign between you and him. Okay?